Let's talk about some jazz improvisation ideas that it's unlikely anyone ever taught you. Hey, it's Paul Tobey here from jazzmental.com. Today we're going to be focused on the tune God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. It's a Christmas song, and that's because we're getting close to Christmas, and it's nice to practice these things before your next concert. I actually do a Christmas concert every year, and I love to play this tune. I recorded an entire version of it the other day. I'll talk about the full transcription for that a bit later on, but for now, let's play the first chorus right off the top of this recording, and then what we'll do is we'll analyze each of the different sections that kind of bend the ear a little bit and help you improvise better. It's not just about lines, it's also about chords as well. Okay, let's give it a listen. I hope you could hear some of the improv ideas. Again, it's mostly about chords in this section. Let's take a look at the sheet music that I've prepared. I'll put a link to this a little bit later on. Off the top, you'll notice this line cliche that goes from F minor to F minor sharp 5 to F minor 6th. I love that. It's great. But when you get to the end of the second line, that's where the improv really starts to shine, because you've got this 2-5-1 of B flat minor. So the second line goes like this. Now, typically what would happen is you would go from F minor and then go straight to the 2-5 of A flat. But instead, let's put a 2-5 in front of the B flat minor, and I love the way these voicings work. The reason why that sounds so good is pretty much because of the sharp 5 on the F7 chord. Then when moving on to the second line, you've got a 2-5-1 of A flat, except it uses this tritone substitution. So what you have here is an A7 chord with a sharp 5 and a sharp 9 in the melody. Now listen to this next section. This is pretty cool. So the reason why that sounds great is because it's not really a 2-5 of E flat over here. What it is this line that moves down from D flat to C to B flat. So the bass is descending through here, and then you've got this B flat 7 with a sharp 11 here, which is the E natural. It's just a great voicing and a nice way to reharmonize that line. So basically a chord on every note. So we've moved the sheet music down. Let's go to here. Just going up the scale. You could actually change that and make them like drop 2 voicings. It's up to you. And then, I love this. So a G13 with a flat 9, G flat 13 flat 9 to F minor. So those are great ways to reharmonize the melody, especially in a Christmas tune like this one. Let's go back and listen to the recording now. Of course, the main difference between the first chorus and this chorus is the first one was rubato and this one is swing. I even put in this riff, which I really like, from F minor to C7 sharp 9. It's good to put things like that into your improvisation because it allows you to kind of set the new pace rather than just starting in with swing. The other thing about that chorus that I wanted to point out is even though it's swing, it still uses a lot of the same voicings as the rubato section, except now you have to put the swing into your playing. So the left hand is comping on the end of 2 and on the end of 4. It's a great way to keep that swing rhythm going. There's that voicing again that I love. All right, let's continue on with the recording and listen to the first full chorus of piano solo. Couple of things about that. The first you'll notice is that if you're sticking to F minor, it's great to use blues scale ideas. And the blues scale, of course, is this. It can become quite handy when doing things over an F pedal or F minor chords, just like that. The other interesting thing that I find about this chorus of solo is that it utilizes some enclosures and some triplets. So the enclosures basically means pick a destination note and surround it by notes. So the destination note is A flat, surrounded by G, B flat, A, G, back to A flat. So in a 2-5-1 progression of A flat, it might sound like this. And then I also use triplets in the solo when coming down scales, things like this. All right, let's go to the next part of the solo. All right, a couple of ideas in there. The first one was the use of the blues scale, but using these blues riffs like this. So octaves on the outside and then notes on the inside. And of course, grace notes like that. And of course, I used more triplets in that chorus as well. The only other solo idea that I think is different in there, even though obviously the notes are all different from the first chorus, at one point it did like a string of triplets like this. It's a good idea to mix eighth note swing and triplets. It just makes a really, really nice sound. So there's another chorus of solo and a head out. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I will post a link to download the head part of this transcription. It's up here in the corner. It utilizes all of those great chord voicings that I was talking about. It's free to download that. If you're interested in the full transcription, it's like 8 pages long. It has 3 choruses of solo, head in, head out, and then at the end, there's an interesting twist to the ending, which I think you really enjoy. I'll post a link to the full recording in just a second, but while you're here, click the thumbs up button, and if you want to subscribe, we'd love to have you. Okay, let me post a link to the full recording. It also includes a link to download or purchase the transcription along with a discount coupon. I'm going to put a link to that recording right here.